Do we really use sermons? I think we should just have a concert. Thank you very much, folks. Thank you. Grace, mercy, and peace be unto you from God our Father and from our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. You know, let's be very honest. Most commercials just don't mean very much to us. I find that either they're trying to sell me something for a condition I don't have, or they're trying to sell me stuff that I really don't need. Well, just the other day, a commercial really caught my attention. It was for some kind of a car. I don't even know the name of the car. And it asked two very profound questions. The first one was, why don't shorts cost half as much as long pants? And I thought, yeah, that's a good idea. But then the other one was really a real stunner. Can vegetarians still eat animal crackers? I wandered around for about half a day, and my wife says, what's wrong with you? I said, I'm thinking about some really important questions. Well, this morning in our Old Testament lesson and in our Gospel lesson, we find that there are two questions that are really, really important. Now, Joshua had taken over from Moses and had led the people of God into the Promised Land. Remember, it had been a 40-year journey through that Promised Land, and there had been a time when the people had complained against Moses and Aaron. They had whined about God, that they didn't have enough food, they didn't have enough water, their feet were uncomfortable, they needed better sandals. There were times when they thought that God and Moses had abandoned them, and they decided to go back to worshiping that old golden calf that their ancestors had worshipped. There were times when God had brought them to the edge of the Promised Land, and he said, send in some scouts to check it out, see what you need to do. I'll be there to help you. And he came back and said, oh no. Well, 10 of them did. Joshua was one of the ones that didn't. And he said, do you see the size of those walls of that city? We'll never be able to break through those walls. And did you see the size of those people? They're like giants. And God said, well, I think we need to replace you with a new generation. And now that new generation was about to enter the Promised Land. And Joshua said, whoa, before you go, we've got to get some answers here. Now you know who your ancestors worshiped. You know how the previous generation had worshipped Baal again and had abandoned God. Are you ready to put all those things away and worship the God who has done so much for you and for your ancestors? And Joshua gets up and sets the tone and says, I just want you to know. And this is before hundreds of thousands of people. He said, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Now you decide. And the people immediately started saying, well, we remember all that God has done for us. He even gave us 10 commandments to know how to live a proper life. Or we would never go back to those gods. We want to be God's people. Well, think about it for a second. It didn't last too long, did it? It wasn't long before they were leaving the path that God had called them to follow. When God sent prophets to try and get them back on the right path, they killed the prophets, ignored them, mocked them. And then, of course, we know that they indeed, from time to time, did return to the worship of those ancient pagan gods. Well, we know that in the second lesson, the gospel lesson this morning, we find that Jesus is trying to tell his disciples exactly who he is, why he came into the world, and what he has to do. And Jesus had been drawing crowds into thousands to listen to him teach. You'll remember all through this month of August that there have been lessons about Jesus, the bread of life. And it all started off when Jesus fed crowd, we say 5,000 because they only counted men in those days, but there's probably 10 to 12,000 when they added the women and the children. And he fed them all with this little boy's lunch. And the people were amazed. And after that, they began to chase Jesus all around the Sea of Galilee, saying, feed us, we came, we want more food, give us another meal. And as if Jesus was the Wonder Bread man. And this morning we find that a number of Jesus' followers, when they hear the hard teachings of Jesus, they begin to say, whoa. This is too difficult. We've got to do some thinking here. God forbid we've got to think. Just feed us. Just feed us. And they began to walk away saying, this is just too hard. This is just too hard. And when they first heard Jesus this morning, they were had things out of context. And you know, when you think about it, the context of Holy Communion, those words are shocking. Eat my body. Drink my blood. Back in the early history of the church, the Romans were very, very upset with the early Christians because they said, listen to what they're doing, eating blood and drinking blood and eating flesh. Last week I was making rounds down at St. Luke's in Bartonsville as one of the chaplains, and I went in to visit a patient, and she looked at me and she said, you know what? You look like that actor Anthony Hopkins. Hannibal the Cannibal. So I said, okay. So I went home and I asked my wife. I said, Sandy, do I look like Hannibal the Cannibal? She said, yeah, I can see the resemblance. So the rest of the day I walked around the house going, hi, Clarice. How you doing, Clarice? Now, cannibalism, of course, is one of those taboos that's sort of universal. And when the people began to hear what Jesus was saying, they said, we're out of here. We're gone. But Jesus turned to his disciples and said, well, what about you? What about you 12? And Peter stood up and said, Lord, where else can we possibly go? You have the words of eternal life. Well, there's a story that's told about a young Englishman who had heard about the gold rush in Northern California. And he decided to come to America to try his hand at gold mining and find some gold. So he came, and in the early 1800s, he was very, very successful, and he found a lot of gold. He was really, really happy, and he decided that he was going to return home and just enjoy his money. But on the way home, he decided that he wanted to stop in the city of New Orleans. He had heard a lot about that city. And when he got there, he noticed that there was a crowd around a platform. And he noticed a little closer, he looked a little closer, he saw that there was a slave auction. Now, he had never seen anything like this because slavery had been outlawed for decades in England. So he watched as men were being sold as animals and slaves and being used as animals, had no human dignity at all, not treated with kindness and respect. And he was shocked by what he saw. And then they brought up a very attractive young African-American woman. And immediately the men in the crowd started making all kinds of crude remarks. I mean, they opened up the bidding, and it was more than any slave had ever been offered for money. And there were two men in the crowd who were obviously very interested in purchasing this woman. And then he continued to make very crude remarks. And the money went up and up and up. And finally the auctioneer said, going once, going twice. And the Englishman shouted out a bid double the highest bid. Everybody in the crowd was stunned. They did not believe anybody would spend that kind of money on a slave. Well, the man paid his money. They brought the young woman down to him and said, well, here's your slave. And she looked him in the eye, and she spit in his face and said, I hate you. I hate you. And he took her by the arm, and they walked through the streets of the city of New Orleans until he found a shop that he was looking for. And he told her, wait outside here. I'm going to go in for a few minutes. I'll be right back. So he went inside, and he talked to the proprietor for a minute. And a couple minutes, and they haggled back and forth, and finally the man pulled out the rest of his sack of gold and paid it to the man. They filled out some paperwork, and the young Englishman came back out to the slave girl and said, "You're free." And she said, "I hate you. Why are you lying to me like that?" He said, "No, this is your freedom paper. You're free. You're free to go." And she spit at him again and said, "I hate you. You're lying to me." And he said, No, I bought you to set you free." And finally it hit her that he was telling her the truth. She was now free. And she fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face, and she clutched his leg and said, "You bought me to set me free. You bought me to set me free. Now all I want to do is serve you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you." Well, let's be very clear that that's exactly what Jesus did for us. He bought us from the powers of evil, not with silver or gold, but with his body and his precious blood. And now, all we ask in return is that we serve him faithfully. Now, let's be very clear. Jesus is for everybody, but not everybody is for Jesus. Now, we know that if we want to be successful at anything in life, it's going to take commitment. If we want to be a good student, we've got to spend time studying. We've got to be committed to that. If we want to be a good athlete, we've got to practice our skills and be committed to being the best that we can be. If we want to be the best at our job, it's the same thing. Commitment is all that really counts. Talent will take us so far. Without commitment, we're just not going to be very successful. So whether it's in our work, in our marriage, in our health, yes, even our relationship with Jesus, it requires commitment. Christopher Wren was one of the finest architects of his day, and he was the one responsible for designing the great St.Paul Cathedral in London, England. And it's a magnificent cathedral. And one day he went to check on the progress of the work, and he was walking around, and he noticed some of the workers there. They looked a little bored, they looked a little tired. He went up to them and said, "What are you doing?" And the first one who was bored said, "I'm laying brick." He said, "Okay." He went to the second one and said, "Well, what are you doing, sir?" He said, "I'm carrying stones." And then he found another man who seemed to be whistling and happy. He went to him and said, "Well, what are you doing?" He said, "I'm building a cathedral to the glory of God. And it's such an honor and privilege to do it." Think about that change in attitude. You know, God didn't create us to be bored or to be unfulfilled in our lives, and including our work. Who do you work for? You know, one of the toughest things sometimes to do is to go and buy a car. Well, I've been going to the same dealer for about 35, 36 years. And you know, some days the devil gets into me. And I say, I don't want to mess with this person. Anybody ever do that? Now, we just had confession. Do we have to do that again? Well, among the dealers, knowing the people down where I go, they said, "Well, fill out this application and put down your employer." So I put down God. Right? So the salesman was looking at it and he went, Oh, what's this? I said, "Well, I work for God." And he went, "I'm not sure we can take this." I said, "Well, St. Paul Lutheran Church in Tannersville gives me signs my paycheck, but I still work for God." "Oh, okay, that makes a big difference." But you know, think about it for a second. No matter what you're doing, you're working for God. And Paul uses that great phrase, you're an ambassador for Christ. Think about that for a second. In your workplace, or where you play, your neighborhood, or wherever, you are Christ's representative in that place. And you can either act bored and tired and totally uninterested, or realize that you are called by God to be in that situation and to represent the kingdom of God. And God chose you to do that.